Morning, morning, morning. Ryan Delaney, the Yinzer therapist, here for another installment of Mindfulness Moments. If this is the first time tuning in, if you're a returning viewer, let me take a moment to remind you the why, the what behind these YouTube videos. The point of these is to try to help us find moments of mindfulness in our day, to remind us how important it is to stay present in the moment, to not allow those intrusive thoughts to take over and run roughshod in our brain space, right? Practicing mindfulness is such an important part of our mental health, especially in today's world with all the various stimuli and stressors and triggers out there, right? Being able to find moments to be mindful, to be present, to check in with our senses, to ground ourselves is just huge, right? It is such an important thing. So I really am striving to have a weekly episodic mental health talk show that really focuses on mindfulness, focuses on our coping skills, focuses on various aspects and topics of mental health, right? So hopefully, you'll stick around and check things out today. If you really like things, please comment below. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you didn't like. Please hit that subscribe button. Please share the heck out of these things. One of my drawbacks of this kind of launch and this push is that I do not have a social media presence. I don't really like social media. So getting the word out there, making sure people know that this exists, that this good stuff, this good, healthy mental stuff exists is one of the biggest challenges I got. It really, really is. So with that, we are going to look and get started with today's programming, kind of talk about the various things in the world today regarding mental health, right? Later on, we will do another little drumming meditation piece. I think we'll do breathing. A breathing exercise demonstration. And depending on how things go in terms of times, I do want to try to keep these things to about 30 minutes. We may even do a brain humming exercise that I learned from the great Jim Donovan. So, with that said, let's take a moment to do some deep breathing, right? To try to center ourselves, to ground ourselves, to kind of check in with the world around us and kind of see how we're feeling today, right? Are we feeling peppy? Are we feeling sad, tired, irritated, confused, right? Really taking some time to kind of see where we're at with today and kind of maybe where we want to head for today. So, with that, I invite everybody to take a big deep breath. One more. And one more for good measure, right? Okay. So, I think the first thing I'd like to do today is challenge everybody to be the change that they want to see in the world, right? To really go out there and not just talk the talk, but walk it as well. I say this because last night my wife and I helped an older gentleman get to where he was going, or at least closer to. We found him standing at a bus stop over near where we live. And there was no more buses running. Like, he was definitely not catching a bus anywhere. Um, and we could have done a whole bunch of different things. I'm pretty sure somebody called the cops on him because as we picked him up, cop was rolling up. And who knows what that could have turned into, right? I mean, let's be real. In today's age, you act a little funny, you're the wrong color, wrong minority, you might not walk away from that traffic stop, right? So instead of just ignoring it, passing them by, letting them do whatever, oh, somebody else will take care of it. Somebody else will help them, right? No, me and my wife stepped in. Now, we did it on a team system, right? There's both of us just in case some shenanigans, right? When neither one of us approached this gentleman by ourselves. We weren't dumb about it, but we did help, right? And that's an important thing. He was extremely grateful, extremely helpful to get close to where he was going. And then today, I was just at the store. It was a handicapped lady that was definitely struggling with some mobility. Um, I could. She was done with her cart. I was returning my cart. What do you do? You just say, "Hey, want me to walk that over for you?" I'm not trying to be an ableist, not trying to be a dick, but it was hard out. You could tell she was struggling a little bit. Little things like that, little courtesies like that, right, can be so important, so powerful for people. There is not enough positivity and kindness in this world, and I really, really work hard to have my positivity, my kindness, be so infectious, be so powerful that it can change an entire person's day, right? That they can go from being a crank butt to a smiling moose, right? That's the power of kindness, right? That is the power of kindness. That has a power of civility. That has a power of treating everybody like they're a human being that deserves the respect, right? So yes, I definitely challenge all of you watching this to go out there and do kindness recklessly without abandon, because we need more of it in this world. One of the biggest things about this exercise of making these videos and putting this good mental health content out there and really trying to be the change I want to see in the world is combating the imposter syndrome, right? I've been working in the mental health field for 14 years. I've been running my private practice for 4.5. I have a knowledge base. My sessions are successful. My clients keep coming back. I got return customers. You're doing a pretty good job. You get return customers, right? But yet there's still this overarching nagging disbelief that I am actually an expert in this field, that I actually know what I'm talking about. So as much as I am making these videos for you guys to have another resource, another library of things you can turn to when we're having one of them struggle bus kind of days, right? This is also a great exercise for me in my anxiety on my journey of mental health. And that is why now what we're going to do is take a few moments to practice more of that mindfulness, right? And what we're going to do is I'm going to sit here and play my new handpan drum that I'm still very much learning how to play. I bought myself a very cheap version to see if I could stick with it, just to make sure it wasn't an ADHD hyperfixation, right? And while I'm playing this, I want us to check in with our senses, right? Obviously, a big one right now, since I'm playing a drum, will be sound, right? What kind of sounds are you hearing? Are you able to focus on my drum or the cars driving by outside? The neighbors in your office chatting, your kids bugging you, right? Are you able to focus on just this? In addition to what we can hear, right? What you can see, what you can touch, hear, touch, taste. I don't know why, but my brain can never come up with all five senses every time I try to come up with all five senses. Somehow I always manage to forget one. So, check in with those senses: your sight, your hearing, your smelling, your tasting, your touching, your thoughts, right? Check in with those things while I'm playing. What is your brain telling you? Or is it easy for you to sit and listen to the drum? Is it very hard? Do you want to listen to the drum, but your brain won't let you go about what you need to make for dinner tonight? Right? Let's really look at those things and take a moment here to reflect on whether we can control those intrusive thoughts, right? Whether we can put a blockade up and get us some quiet mental clarity, even for just a few minutes, right? Um, I will do my best to play this for 10, no, 5-ish minutes. I'm working my way up to 10. Hopefully it sounds good. Hopefully my microphone works well and picks up things okay. If for whatever reason there's difficulties, it doesn't sound good, it sounds good, whatever it is, please make sure you comment below, like, dislike the video. Give me some feedback, right? Let me know what's working. Let me know what's not working. Okay. So with that in mind, let's work on that mindfulness while I sit here and play my new handpan. All right, my wedding ring is off. It's a fun instrument to play. Even though I have really no idea what I'm doing, still very much figuring it out. It is a fun instrument to play. One of the things I really hope that this stuff, this YouTube channel, these things takes off, so I can somehow magically afford myself a very nice one. Because if this one sounds this cool and it was 150 bucks off of Timu, man, how good do those $2,000 ones sound, right? Right? Uh, so yeah, how was that? Did it sound good? Was it easy for you to focus on the drum? Was it hard? Would have been easier had I been a better job at playing it, right? This is why we're doing this, right? To take those moments to reflect and look at ourselves and see, was it easy for you to sit there for 5 minutes and just focus on a drum? Was it a really, really hard thing for you? That kind of stuff matters, because if your mental health is strong, your mindfulness is good, you really should be able to do something like that and focus on a drum like that for 5 minutes with not having any intrusive thoughts. So, how'd you do? Please comment below and let me know. Well, I sure hope my drumming hasn't chased you away. It sure is fun to play. I'm not sure how it sounds for you guys out there. Hopefully, it sounds at least tolerable. If there's an issue with the microphone or something, we'll figure that out, right? Growing pains. That is the nice thing about this series here, is that you get to see live and in person. You get to see the nuts and the bolts, the warts, right? Hopefully, you get to watch me make videos like this with crappy production value and turn it into something like Mr. Beast level awesomeness, right? Uh, so we'll keep trucking away here. I think the next thing I want to focus on today that is really stuck in my craw is the idea of silver linings, right? And now this can be a little bit of a challenge, right? Because if we are just ignoring the bad, right? If we're not being able to sit with and experience and check in with the bad, um, that can be a problem, right? So silver linings to me are not like, oh, let's just ignore the bad thing and focus on the good, right? You have to accept the bad as well. But I think the silver linings are really important to try to help us understand that even if it is bad, it ain't all bad, right? There are some silver linings, like case in point, I had a cancellation today. That's why I was able to make this video. So the silver lining is I got to make this video, right? Definitely still sucks that I had a cancellation. It's definitely not a lot of fun being canceled on, but I do enjoy then getting time to be creative and have freedom to express myself in different ways, right? So I think a lot of life can be really different if you change that perspective. If you try to find the lesson you're supposed to learn in the hardship, right? If you're supposed to find the positive of what is going on, it can definitely be a challenge, right? Um, Not every situation has a silver lining, right? Uh, one of the silver linings I think I just experienced the other day is because of the rain and that, which is no fun, right? Never fun being at Kennywood with the rain, right? Who wants to be rained on when trying to ride roller coasters? But man, did that rain scare away the crowd, right? Man, did that rain keep the crowd light. So when it wasn't raining, there was lots of riding to be had, right? So yeah, it sucked that we had to put up a little bit of rain, a little bit of wetness, but man, was it awesome to be able to ride what we were riding without the wait times, right? So those silver linings can really take a situation that was totally dark, totally full of despair, and turn it into something positive, right? It can be a real benefit. It really, really can. Um, so, what are your thoughts on silver linings? Is there a situation in your life right now that is a challenge to find the positive? Is it something that is easy for you to do? Right? Silver linings are a good therapeutic technique to try to find the good in even the worst of situations. Right? And in today's world, when we have a lot of bad happening, being able to remind ourselves of that good, when the good is there and when the good can happen, can be extremely, extremely potent, right? So with that idea of silver linings, right, of trying to find the positive even in the most dire of situations, I want us to keep that kind of in the back of our head, and I want to take some deep breaths. right? I kind of want us to sit and look at our lives. And is there situations where we've been focusing too much on the negative and we're not looking at the lesson the universe is trying to teach us? Are there situations where we're focusing too much on that silver lining and not recognizing the choices that keep causing that problem to reoccur, right? Let's really look at these things and see what we come up with, right? That brain is a wonderful thing. Sometimes it can really come up with what we need it to come up with to help us get pushed through. And in taking moments like this to be mindful, to be reflective, can really help make that a thing, right? So we're going to take 5 big deep breaths. I'm going to do them with you. So you're probably going to see me counting on my hand. Not out loud, because I've discovered that I can't count and lead a breathing exercise if I want to do it myself. And definitely feeling some more of that imposter syndrome. Definitely kind of struggling with what else to put in this episode, what else to say today. So I'm hopeful that my silver lining is that this breathing exercise will help me come up with the big closer for this week's episode, right? So let's do it. 5 big deep breaths. And if you can, remember, we don't want to breathe with our chest. We want to get it down into our belly. We want big, deep belly breathing. All right? There we go. And it worked. I figured out one of the other things I really wanted to touch upon today is the power of language. And I think this is a great thing to actually close on and leave us with today. The power of language is real, right? Little modifications on how we talk to ourselves, the words we use, can make a big deal, right? It can really affect our psyche. So for the last exercise today, before as we close up shop, what I'd like you to do is look at the word choices that you use, right? Think about in the morning when you're waking up and all the things that are on your itinerary for the day, right? A lot of times we find ourselves saying, I have to wake up at 6 a.m. I have to eat this for breakfast. I have to help the kids get out the door, right? I have to go to work, right? Have tos can be a tough thing, right? But what about flipping the script just the littlest bit and saying things like, I get to, right? Right? I get to work out today. I get to wake up this morning. I get to help my kids get out the door, right? Switching from have to get to can be a very simple transformation, but very, very powerful. Because think about it, as much as it may suck to get up and go to work and deal with the kids and deal with the boss and the co-workers and the commute and the other people and right? I mean, life can be life, work can be worky, people can be people. Let's not kid about it, right? But recognizing that it is still a privilege and an honor to breathe, to be alive, to still be a member of this society, that's an important thing. There are a lot of people, not in this just in this world, but in this country, in this very city, that are starving every day. There is a bunch of people in this country, in our own city, in our own boroughs, that don't have a place to call home, that don't have a bed to sleep on at night, that don't have kids to wake up to the next day. Right? Those things are privileges. Those things are honors. So as today's ending, I want to challenge you to look at your language, recognize those have tos, and when you're talking about it like that, that you have to, and work hard to switch it to I get to. I am blessed to. I am honored to. See how that feels. See if it makes a difference in your life. I know for me, taking those moments and to reflect and remind myself that it is a privilege to be able to raise 3 children, as much as they might be annoying brats. It's an important thing, and that can help me get through those days when they're really on a tear, right? So think about that. Think about that language. Think about those word choices you're using, right? Find ways to shift it into a positive connotation, not a negative one, right? I get to make videos like this. I get to build an online community and audience, right? I don't have to. I get to. Um, Little things like that can make a big difference. Well, that would be the end of today's episode. I really hope you've turned in this far. I really appreciate the love and support. Please, please, please make sure to share the heck out of these videos. Please subscribe. Please like. Please comment. Please give me that feedback. Please let me know what's working, what's not working, what I could do better, what I could do differently, what I should never ever do again. I'm really trying to just throw it all at the wall and be brave and step outside of my comfort zone and try to do something a little different. I've been very successful at having these one-on-one individual sessions in this room. It is time to take the magic of this office and take it to the real world, right? So thank you again. I appreciate you. Thank you for showing up for yourself. Remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to the world, be kind to the people in it. And we'll see you next time. Peace.